From one user losing money on puts amidst the war to another user making money on calls back to back, we are going to go over WallStreetBets' hottest summer trades. OK Beach is a user with a goal of becoming a millionaire by YOLOing his entire portfolio on a single stock. OK Beach is no stranger to hard work. He used to work at McDonald's and deliver pizzas between the ages of 16 and 18. Then, he spent the next 5 years working as a technician and a food buffet server, eventually saving up $250,000. His first Reddit post came 8 months ago, where he proudly shared his plan to dump all of his hard-earned savings into Palantir stock. His strategy was to hold for 10 years and liquidate in 2034, when Palantir, according to him, will hit $474 per share and turn his investment into $3.3 million. The reason behind this bold move was so he can finally have a baby, but not everyone in the comments was on board. Ha ha ha, perfect. Buy it after the pump. Why not dollar cost averaging, just pumping it all in at the tip top? Seems absolutely bonkers. Ignoring the noise, OK Beach kept holding his shares, and just a month later, he returned with an update. Palantir had climbed from $45 to $64 per share, and his portfolio had grown to $350,000. Waterfall warned him, saying, "Sell now, no joke. With that kind of money, he could have bought a small house, a Lambo, or even gone on a luxury vacation." But he was hungry for more, and on June 16th, 2025, he gave us a final update. Palantir hit a staggering $147 per share, and he was now officially a millionaire. His gains are still unrealized though, as he reminded everyone he won't be touching those shares until at least 2029. Immediate Poem is another user who started off his trading journey fairly strong, but soon turned it all around. On the 11th of June, he shared his first trade on the WallStreetBets subreddit. He bought way out of the money Oracle calls, worth $180,000 at an average cost of $9.11 per share. Oracle's earning report soon came out, and this surged the price of Oracle's shares by 10%. Unfortunately though, he couldn't sell his calls as he slept in yesterday, and the market was already closed by the time he wanted to sell it. But what seemed like a disaster turned into a blessing. Just 2 days later, his same calls skyrocketed by 333%. He profited $606,000, and his portfolio had now climbed to $790,000. If he was a sensible person, he would have tossed that money into an ETF and chilled his entire life. But he wasn't. On the very same day, he was back with his entire portfolio down to the last penny, dumped into QQQ puts. He was confident that amidst the war, his QQQ puts were going to print him a lot of money. Ironically, the opposite happened. Just 1 day later, he was already down $17,000 for the day, and things weren't looking good. He could have still pulled out all of his money and lived a comfortable life, but he kept on holding. This was a fatal mistake because 2 days later, he was down 42% and more than $300K were wiped out of his portfolio. He says, "I guess war is bullish," to which a person replied, "War is neutral, but war means Trump is distracted from his tariff stuff. Anything that keeps him from doing that is bullish." Kahunas is a user who went on a wild winning streak buying calls because apparently war is bullish, of course. Kahunas was a bit tight on money, and so he threw $12,000 into Google calls just to cover rent. No worries though, as his Google calls exploded by 158% and he profited $19,000. He now not only had a place to live, but was also happy to go on looking for a girlfriend. Well, it seems like finding a girlfriend isn't as easy, because just 2 days later he was back with yet another trade. This time, he threw $19,000 into Microsoft calls, which quickly doubled to just about $40K. Unnameable Degenerate says, "Yes, by all means, hold it to expiration. I double dog dare you." To which Kahunas boldly replied, "Challenge accepted. Let's see how it plays out." We can't see how it played out though, because he gave us no update on his Microsoft calls whatsoever. But what he gave us next was even better. He had $64,000 worth of Tesla calls, which rose to $153,000, pushing his total portfolio to just shy of $250,000. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you enjoyed WallStreetBets' hottest summer trades. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.